right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mark Slater. I've been a practicing chiropractor since 1998. This is our first live stream of 2025. We used to do all of these every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern with a topic to help you grow your personal injury business. So again, a little bit about me. My name is Mark Slater. I've been a practicing chiropractor for 25 years and a full-time consultant in the personal injury space going on 7.5 years. So I graduated from Life College in 1998, and I started my first practice from scratch. Back then, there were two marketing consultants that everyone had heard of, Dr. Pete Fernandez and David Singer. Where I hired Pete Fernandez, and I joined his Practice Starters program. And in his Practice Starters program, while my practice was under construction, he had me going around in concentric circles around my office, knocking on doors of businesses and residences, taking a survey with pen and paper. Do you ever have back pain, neck pain, headaches? Just getting all their information, their name, their email address. And what I did, I was building up an email list, which is a lot easier to do now because of social media and all these tools and social and digital marketing tools that we have. But back then it was pen and paper. Dr. Fernandez wanted me to do 3,000 of those, and in full disclosure, I did 1,000. I mailed everyone on the same day a thank you note for taking my survey, and then a week before my practice opened, I emailed everybody I mailed everyone a grand opening letter. So on day one in my practice, I had a waiting room full of patients, and I ended up selling that practice in only 2 years for a big multiple and bought a PI practice here in Atlanta. So I know if you join me today, hang out with me here for about 5 or 10 minutes, and we're gonna talk about using LinkedIn as a personal injury referral machine. That's right, you can use LinkedIn without paying for ads, no paid ads, and turn LinkedIn to a personal injury referral machine. So hang out with me here for about 5 or 10 minutes, and we're gonna get into that, okay? So I bought a PI practice here. And by the way, when I opened up that first practice, I was also talking to attorneys, being introduced to attorneys. I was born and raised in Birmingham, so I had a lot of people that would make introductions. So I had a big personal injury business as well. So again, I bought a PI practice in Atlanta, Georgia, and it had a medical doctor in it in 2003. And that was my point of differentiation. That is what helped me stand out in the market, is that I had a medical doctor with an emergency room medical experience, trauma qualified, obviously, because he's an emergency room doctor, worked in the military. And that was my point of differentiation. That got attorneys interested in working with me. So I didn't do any of the diagnosis and treatment. What I did do is met every single attorney in town, took them to lunch, met all the MRI reps. I created a network of PI attorneys who referred business to me in droves. And I had that practice for 17 years. And sold everything. I got into the med spa business, laser hair removal, laser tattoo removal. I had 4 of those locations here in the Atlanta market. And around 2016, I sold everything and kind of took some time off. And then I got recruited and hired by one of the largest spine surgeons in Georgia. He had 2 surgery centers, he had 6 marketing liaisons, and he hired me to be his VP of sales and marketing. And our goal, which he had never done before, is to bring in 200 new personal injury patients in a month. He had never done that before. And he wanted to eclipse 30 spine surgeries a month in the practice. He had never done that before either. 24 was the record. So I worked there for 11 months, and in 2 of those months, we eclipsed 200 new PI patients. I think we got 250 one of those months. In 2 of those months, we did I didn't do the surgery. The doctor, the spine surgeon, did 30 surgeries in a month. So 2 of those months. So we blew past that 24 record and set records for that business. Well, after 11 months, I resigned from that business. I resigned as the VP of sales and marketing because I said, if I can help myself grow a PI business, if I can help a spine surgeon grow a PI business, I have something here. So I created a coaching and consulting company to help doctors just like you grow their personal injury business without spending a single dollar on digital marketing. So before we talk about how to make LinkedIn your automated machine for personal injury referrals, let's talk about 3 core pillars of good personal injury marketing. Number 1, have a social media plan. We now have the benefit of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all these social media platforms that all the attorneys are on. So in a strategic way of reaching out to them, getting them, adding them as friends, connecting with them, getting in conversations with them and booking on Zoom calls is how we did it in the past. When I say past, over the past, the first 5 years of my business. But over the first 2 years, we've automated that process, and I'm going to talk about that a little later. So the first thing is have a social media plan. Have the ability to build up an audience of PI attorneys and then produce content to stay top of mind with all these attorneys so that when they scroll social media and they see your content, that's a constant reminder, oh yeah, there's Dr. Slater, he has a TBI protocol. We love TBI, we love patients our clients getting screened for TBI, because I know as an attorney how not only I can get policy limits with this diagnosis, but I can also pop those policy limits and get future medicals for my client. So that's the first core pillar of good personal injury marketing, is have a dedicated PI marketing liaison. Is have a social media plan. The second pillar is have a dedicated personal injury marketing liaison specifically for your business. Somebody who is highly trained to talk to paralegals, case managers, personal injury attorneys, walking into their physical law firms, dropping off material, getting in conversations, and setting up Zoom calls and lunches for the doctor. My clients that have marketing liaisons are the ones that are constantly and continually growing their personal injury referrals through having somebody walking into law firms, urgent cares, primary care doctors, general practitioners, and having conversations that if you have people that have been in car accidents, we take those types of cases, whether insured, not insured, whatever. We'll take your back and neck pain, benign neck and back pain patients too. Most primary care doctors, urgent cares, and general practitioners, they don't want anything to do with neck pain, back pain. They don't want to prescribe a medication, get on the high prescribers list, and get flagged by insurance companies. So they're looking for you, and they're looking for someone to send their car accident patients to. So that's the second core pillar, a dedicated PI marketing liaison. The third core pillar of good PI marketing is your communications with attorneys, right? Knowing how to talk to them, to compel them to send you cases when you first meet them to start the relationship, how to communicate with them during the course of treatment, sending them their first day's notes after they send you a client, and at the end of the case, how to negotiate while still maintaining the relationship. Because again, some of these attorneys are just programmed to cut 50% of your bill. Well, there's 3 questions you can ask them when they want to cut your bill that really get them to understand that it's your bill and your notes that got that settlement. So how do you communicate it in a way by asking certain questions to get 80 to 90 to 100% of your bill paid? So those are the 3 core pillars of good personal injury marketing. A social media plan to grow your audience of PI attorneys and posting relevant content that compels them to want to do business with you. Number 2, a dedicated personal injury marketing liaison specifically for your clinic or clinics or offices. And then 3, your communications. Communications on the front with the attorney to build the relationship and start the relationship all the way through until the negotiation process. If you master those 3 core pillars, you are way ahead of 80% of the doctors in this personal injury space. So if you've been with me here for a few minutes, let me see if, give me 1 second here. If you're in the space, give me some likes, give me some loves, let me know you're here. And we're going to talk about how you can use LinkedIn to be your machine for personal injury referrals on an evergreen basis. Okay, so by using LinkedIn, everyone's heard of the platform LinkedIn. It is a social media platform, but it's really B2B. It's a business to business platform as opposed to B2C, business to consumer. So we're using it to reach out to personal injury attorneys. Now, the old way we did this, we would manually connect with PI attorneys in our city and connect with them. When they connected with us, we would send them a message. Hey, Attorney Jones, thanks for connecting with me. It's a pleasure to meet you. I see we're both in the personal injury space. I'm looking to grow my relationships in the PI business. Are you open to a quick chat? And then what would happen with that, sometimes they would respond and you could book a Zoom call and have a referral partner. But what would happen is if the attorney didn't respond to that first message, what do you think most doctors would do? Well, most of them would quit, and then that was the end of it. So what I did is I created a software. It's called PI Referral Pro. And once we set up a campaign, and I have a advanced tech team, a tech support team that does all this for you and sets it up for you, what it does is it will automatically connect with up to 50 PI attorneys every single day through automation. So we use Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator is a LinkedIn product that allows you to reach out to 30, 50, 100, 150 people a day. There's no limitations because without Sales Navigator, you're only limited to 20 connections a day. So we purchased Sales Navigator. It's $99 a month. They give you 30 days free. And then my tech team sets up a campaign for you. Injury attorney, Atlanta, Georgia. And then every single day, it's going to send out up to 50 connection requests automatically to these PI attorneys. Now, when the attorney connects on LinkedIn, it triggers a message that we construct. It's already built into the system. And that first message again says, hey, thanks for connecting with me. I see we're both in the personal injury space. Are you open to growing your referral network? Do you work with any doctors in the Smyrna area of Atlanta? Sincerely, Dr. Slater. Now, if the lawyer doesn't respond within 48 hours, guess what happens? Through automation, it triggers a second message that says, hey, I'm just popping this to the top of your inbox. I know we communicated a couple of days ago. Do you work with any doctors in the Smyrna area that have a TBI protocol that diagnoses concussions to help give you the ammunition you're going to need to get the best possible outcome from the client, something like that. Now, if the attorney doesn't respond to that message, 48 hours later, it triggers another message. If they don't respond to that one, it'll trigger another one, and then another one, and then another, and then another. All these messages are spaced about 30 to 45 days apart. Now, if the attorney responds to the first message, the fourth message, the sixth message, whatever, the automation's going to cut off. You are notified that a human has responded to one of these cold messages, right? They're cold because you guys are strangers at this point. Now, if they respond, you're notified that's a warm lead. You take over the conversation and you acknowledge, hey, it's great that I see you've been in business for 13 years and getting high settlements for your clients. Are you open to hopping on a Zoom call with me to learn about your law firm so that I can show you everything we do in our office that's going to give you the ammunition you're going to need to get the best possible outcome for your clients? And this is a marketing campaign that goes on every single day. These messages are going out. As long as you have attorneys in your queue, like we want you to have about 1,000 attorneys in your queue, and every day it's going to whittle down 30 to 50, 30 to 50, 30 to 50, and then sending all those messages. You take over when the attorney responds and get in a conversation and schedule a Zoom call. Now, the old way was taking these attorneys to lunch and feeding all of Atlanta. Well, you can still do that, but let's say you're in the Cumming, Georgia area, which is really north of Atlanta. It's going to take you 45 minutes to drive to downtown Atlanta. It's going to take you a little over an hour to have the lunch, and then 45 minutes to drive back to your clinic up in Cumming, Georgia. That's 2.5 hours. How many Zoom calls could you do in that time with PI attorneys to establish new referral relationships and grow your personal injury business? You can do a lot of them. More than one is the answer. Okay? So these attorneys are used to doing Zoom. Since the pandemic, they've been doing Zoom depositions, Zoom bench trials, Zoom court hearings. So asking them to hop on Zoom is easy for them. They're doing it anyway, and quite frankly, they'd rather do Zoom than meet you for lunch. Now, some of these guys want to meet you in person, right? And in my private coaching business, I show you the framework or the blueprint for your first meeting with a new personal injury attorney. So that's how we can use LinkedIn as an automated system of getting us in front of the people that can fill our office with personal injury patients. Because let's be frank, these PI attorneys are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, some of them, per month, marketing for personal injury and car crash victims. Radio, TV, billboards, Google pay-per-click ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, TikTok ads. I mean, these guys are spending a lot of money, but the value of a personal injury case is directly related to their medical bills. If they don't have any chiropractic or medical bills, they don't have a case. So they have to send these people somewhere. And all the attorneys that I talk to, they have what's called a 5-mile rule, especially in big cities like Atlanta. They do not want their client driving more than 5 miles to the chiropractor 3-4 times a week. They're going to miss appointments. It's going to cause gaps in care. You have to explain all that, and it can really impact the case. Okay? So you're not going to get all the attorneys' referrals, just their clients who live or work within a reasonable distance of your area. And it's just a numbers game. If you only have 10, let's say 20 relationships that you have with PI attorneys, I want you to look at the stats. You're probably getting 80% of the referrals from 20% of those attorney relationships. So if you only have 20 attorney relationships, it's only 3, maybe 4 of those attorneys that are sending the majority of those referrals. So this process allows us to go from 20 relationships to 50, to 100, to 200 PI attorney relationships. And if you could get one referral from 20% of that number, that's 40 new PI patients a month. And because I talk to a lot of I talk to a lot of chiropractors every single day, every week, every year for the past 7 years, I know that 40 PI patients a month could be a life-changing, game-changing amount of patients, PI patients, specifically for your practice. So that's how we use LinkedIn as our automated PI referral machine. If you're interested in learning more, type LinkedIn below this video that you're watching. So if you're in the live stream, if you type LinkedIn in the comment section, I'll reach out to you. We can hop on a 15-minute phone call. It's not a Zoom call. It's not a big strategy session. It's just a phone call. We can chat. I want to learn a little bit about what you're doing right now. What's your process for bringing in personal injury? You can ask me some questions about my products and services. And again, I have lots of different products and services that can help you. And this one is the entry-level one, getting you an automated process to expand your reach and expand your network through automation and AI. That's how the majority of my clients are growing their personal injury businesses, through the power of automation. All you have to do is respond to messages when those attorneys respond to these automated messages that go on every single day, whether you want to or not, through the power of automation. I've been using this system for 2 years in my business, and just last year, I doubled my revenue in 2024 compared to 2023. I doubled my revenue through automation. Marketing is just a numbers game, right? The more people that see you, hear you, that they can do business with you. So if you're not out there getting in front of the people that can send you personal injury patients, this could be the vehicle that gets you from where you are today to where you want to go in terms of new PI patients referred to your office. So if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe to my video channel. I produce one long form video every single week. I've got about 250 videos on personal injury on my YouTube channel. So just go subscribe and you'll be notified when I release a new video. And type LinkedIn underneath this video if you want me to reach out to you, and we can hop on a phone call and I can show you everything that I have to offer, and you can make a decision if you want to work together to grow your personal injury business. So I want to thank you for joining me today at this live stream. My name is Mark Slater. My company is called Prime Spine Consulting.